Welcome everybody to the first part of Kirby's Adventure Wii.
I'm on the Wii for once! Hey!
What? Kirby, what are you doing?
Oh, whatever.
I have wings. Wait a minute, guess what? I'm not actually going to be in this adventure. Hooray! This brings us to Kirby's Adventure Wii, also known as Kirby's Return to Dreamland in America. Don't know why they changed the name, but either way, this is a more traditional approach to the Kirby series as opposed to recent games like Kirby Air Ride, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and Kirby Mass Attack. This is more of a traditional platforming game similar to Kirby's Adventure, probably why it's called Kirby's Adventure over here. But yeah. As you can see, I've 200%'d this game, so I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, I won't suck at this. But yeah, on that note, let's play Kirby's Adventure Wii. We begin our story on the planet of Popstar. On first glance, it would look completely barren, but it turns out that it's a perfectly normal planet, apart from that swirly rainbow thingy. But anyway. We are joined by Kirby, who is running from King Dedede and Waddle Dee as he has stolen a cake from him, both of which have tried to slaughter him in the past. Same with Meta Knight over here, but he has decided to read a book instead, until something in the sky catches his eye. Also catches the eye of Kirby, King Dedede and Waddle Dee as they both bump into each other. In the sky they see a glow that turns into a dark star, and out of the dark star comes a sailing ship of some kind. But it seems to be breaking apart upon impact, and it seems to be very heavily damaged. Concerned, the King, Waddle Dee, and Kirby both start to run towards the ship to see if anyone in the ship has survived. Upon impact, the ship looks perfectly fine. It still manages to open, so it doesn't seem that damaged even though it has lost several parts. Also, Meta Knight is here for some reason. Why? I have no idea. But our friends decide to venture into the ship and find one lone inhabitant inside the ship asleep. He suddenly wakes up. Startled, he looks around, goes straight over to his computer and finds that his entire 100% save file of Super Mario Sunshine has been lost, along with his oars, wings, an emblem, and the sail from his ship. This saddens this strange man, and this gives Kirby the idea to walk up behind him and tap him on the shoulder. Kirby then nods his head and smiles, as that solves all the problems in Dreamland. Magolor stares at this strange odyssey, and then starts jumping for joy for some reason, as he now understands the way that things are solved in Dreamland, nodding their heads and smiling. So, he tells Kirby his mission, find his remaining ship parts and bring them to him to help him get back to his home planet. And so, Kirby, King Dedede, Waddle Dee, and Meta Knight, three of which who will not actually be in this adventure, start off their next grand adventure in Dreamland. May God help us all. So that's the basic plot of this game, basically. Some guys crashed onto the Popstar. His name's Magolor, and he wants Kirby to go and fix his ship for him, because he's too lazy to do it himself. And Kirby, being the nice little genocidal maniac he is, decides to go and help him. So this level keeps up Kirby tradition by having one of the weirdest names ever for a first world, Cookie Country. Can't see any cookies unless those are those mountains there. They look more like cheese. Yeah, this game is actually 4-player co-op, but because I have no friends, I'm going to be playing this on my own. Oh well. Kirby's a basic platforming game. He jumps. He can also, his main method of attacking is eating things. He can also slide, and he can guard with the A button. And his main method of attacking is swallowing people. If he swallows certain people, he'll be able to cop their abilities, and this gives him certain new attacks. For example, he's got his sword attack, and this is one of his more versatile abilities. At full health, he can shoot a little beam, little reference to Legend of Zelda right there, and he's got plenty of other attacks if you use combinations of button presses and the D-pad. Kirby also has he can also run, and this helps him get over tiny little gaps in the platforms. And he can also fly, which basically makes this game piss easy if you're not really gonna bother collecting anything. So yeah, so it's a Kirby game. Now this is another old ability of Kirby's, which is the fire ability. He can dash into people, and he can direct his fire, and if you direct it towards yourself, he'll set himself on fire. This is a stupidly powerful attack, by the way, it's really helpful. He can also turn into a fireball. But the thing is, Kirby takes touch damage, just like pretty much every other platforming game that's ever existed. So yeah, that happens. Now this is one of the main gimmicks of this game, the energy spheres. These energy spheres fell out of Magvalor's ship, and Kirby needs to go all this way to try and get all of them. And there's 120 of them, as you saw. If you shake the Wii remote, you can Kirby can like inhale a lot of stuff, like including huge stone blocks like that. So that's also helpful. So yeah, this is one of Kirby's first games that's actually like taking a traditional approach on a console since Kirby 64, which came out like 2000. This is his first proper game on a console in 10 years, 11 years. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. And seeing as this is the first console traditional Kirby game, we've had a lot of time to bring in a lot of new mechanics, and this is one of them. The super abilities. You basically swallow a glowing enemy and it gives you a souped up version of a certain ability. For example, this is a sword. It pretty much destroys everything on the screen. Pretty much every super ability is basically a screen move. Well, this one in particular has Kirby swinging swords, butcher's cleavers, batons, fish sometimes. That's very rare, but yeah, sometimes he swings a fish at people. And yeah, this destroys pretty much everything on the screen, including certain destructible blocks. And every now and again you'll find certain destructible blocks, and once you cut through them, you'll end up finding like some sort of interdimensional portal, like so. And every time you go inside one of these, you'll go into a new type of level and be able to find 2 of those gears that I mentioned earlier. So let's go in. And whenever you find a star portal like that, it sends you to these black space areas, and this basically involves you running away from a purple wall, which can potentially crush you if it gets you near any other walls. Basically what you need to do is run away from it, spit stuff back out at it, or swallow as much stuff as you can and spit it at whatever's in front of you to make sure you have a clear path ahead of you. This is usually a test of simple Kirby skill, which involves you to think quickly because there's a purple wall chasing you. Because you always lose an ability every time you go in, and you can't exactly stock abilities on you, so you're always simple Kirby with you. I'll just leave our Waddle Dee to live over there. And whenever you see 2 ability stations like this, that usually means that there's a boss up ahead, so make sure you pick your favourite ability, and you should be good to go. Now this is a Sphere Doomer, some bland purple bird thing which flies into you and shoots purple balls at you. That's about it. Yeah, later throughout the game you should be able to find like new versions of these which have different colours, different attack patterns, and different attack types. So it gets a bit better from there on, but the first one's pretty easy, pretty simple. Once you take care of any Sphere Doom, you'll always get 2 energy spheres, gears, and that usually helps you get onto your 100% completing the game, which I will be doing. But yeah, that's the end of this first level. Now, at the end of every level is a goal game, and this basically means you have to time pressing the 2 button right at the very bottom of that catapult thing to send you to the top of a cloud, and that'll give you a 1-up. If you get any lower, you'll get stars. Whenever you complete your level, that unlocks the path to the new level, and then you're on to the second level. Now this level introduces us to a completely brand new Kirby ability, the Leaf ability. This Leaf ability lets you uppercut enemies, you can hold the 1 button to swirl around and make a shield around you, And it also has a guard that makes you completely invulnerable to anything, and it hurts things nearby once you let go. This ability is outright broken when you know how to use it. The only problem with it is that its simple attacks are, they're very hard to aim and they don't really suit my kind of playstyle, so as good as this ability is, I don't use it that often. And there's not really much of a need for it when you're trying to complete the game, so... yeah, I play around with it when I get the chance or when I can be bothered, but usually I get rid of it quite quickly. Now another thing that Kirby games tend to like doing is spawning stuff behind where you end up going. So make sure you check behind you every time you start a new level or a new section or anything like that. You should be able to find something. Now this is the cutter ability. It's basically a boomerang. You can charge it up, you can sort of direct it while it's flying, and you can also use simple cutter attacks, one of which is like a combo attack, which is really, really powerful, especially against enemies with a lot of health. And it could also cut ropes or spider webs, like this. So it's a pretty helpful ability to use, and I personally prefer it over Leaf, but again, I don't use it that much unless I'm in a situation where I really need to use it. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to aim for this little pink thing, but it takes me a while. There you go. Yeah, that's a thing with most of the abilities in Kirby's Adventure Way. Almost all of them have different uses, most of them are very versatile, and they're all very helpful once you get to know how to use them. Once you find your favourite, you're good to go for most sections. Now this is an item. Whenever Kirby grabs any item of any kind, he can't float and he can't use his ability. So it's just pure platforming with whatever kind of item he's got. In this case, it's a cannon which can shoot these grey blocks, which is sometimes mandatory if you want to get like certain gears, like so. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, but I suggest you pick it up whenever you see one. Now this is a needle ability. This is one of the less versatile abilities, as there's only like 4 uses for it. You can stick to walls, you can shoot needles at people by shaking a remote, and you can also use a wheel attack. And one attack that I forgot to mention was the Mega Needle, which basically makes you shoot a needle right up on top of your head, which helps for getting upper enemies. But again, the shaking attack works a bit better in my opinion, because as a spread attack. Now if you go up here, you'll find a secret door right there behind that tree. And this sends you to a beach, which gives you... invincibility candy! Oh my god, I'm gonna sugar rush! I'm gonna stop doing that. Yeah, whenever you get an invincibility candy, you end up going all crazy. Like Kirby's on some sort of drug, he's invincible, he goes stupidly fast, and this really hyperactive music comes on. This is like a staple of the Kirby series as well. So, yeah. Whenever you get the chance to use it, I suggest you get it. Now the beam ability is generally like a sort of whip ability. Most of its attacks are whip-like, but it can be charged up, and it's got mid-air attacks as well. One of the more helpful attacks with the beam ability, in terms of bosses, is the Revolution Beam attack. If you press 1 with a rhythm, while you're in the air, you can just sort of float in the air and like beam in circles. It's very helpful. And the dash attack that I'm using right here is very good for keeping your momentum going. And of course the charge attack is its most powerful attack. Now whenever you find a mini-boss like that and you can take their abilities, always take their abilities if you're aiming to get the gears, because it's almost always mandatory to get the gear, or whatever could possibly be after the mini-boss. So that's a little helpful hint for you if you've not played the game. Yeah, that is pretty much the end of this part, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you in the next part of Kirby's Adventure Way. Oh damn it, I missed.